Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we will set up your interactive development environment, or IDE. To do that we'll have to install Ubuntu on VirtualBox, and I have the thing about keep your feathers numbered because we will incorporate the lesson that we learned in the problem solving process on knowing your workstation. Okay, the steps we have for this, which by the way are NA if you're already running Ubuntu, like I am on my ancient laptop. I went to Ubuntu on it because it's so old that it doesn't run Windows anymore. That is a Windows Vista sticker, and that's what came installed with it. So anyway, if you're running Ubuntu, don't worry about this whole slideshow. But okay, first thing we'll do is we'll download the VM mechanism called VirtualBox from Oracle. We'll download Ubuntu. We'll install VirtualBox, and we'll install Ubuntu on VirtualBox. So here we go. Why are we using a virtual machine, VM? You need to control your IDE. I made sure I earlier told you need to know what your workstation has on it that you're using to develop. Well, when you have more than one developer, everybody can't bring their own device because you'll have a mess. First thing you'll install is a Linux virtual machine. This helps with installation and versioning. I don't have to write 6 different methods of installation depending on whether you're using Windows, Mac, Linux, Unix, or something to be named later. Okay, we talk about versioning. I ran into a problem with that when I was running through the exercises for this class. I was operating in JavaScript and I couldn't understand why the script wasn't running it the way it was supposed to. Well, I looked down and I had run it on my Windows box instead of on the Linux box like I'm telling you all to do. Well, I just lost an hour figuring that out because unfortunately you never get too old to make a rookie mistake. So the reason we're using the virtual machine and we're using this prescribed environment is so that we don't have to sit there and figure out the 20 different ways you can do this with the 20 different flavors of OSs. Okay, so do your project and your scripts on the VM. Okay, and the general principles that military genius that never fought a war himself but can help you win your battles. This idea of controlling your development environment will be key if you're a developer in a corporate situation because you have about 20 different people that are working together, and then when they bring their code together, it all needs to work together. So you need to have the same environment and you need to be on the same version of everything. Okay, step 1, download VirtualBox. You go to this link. And my computer will make sure that it's okay to go there. That's nice of it. Okay, you go here. You pick your your OS. I'm running Windows, so I click here, and I want to save it first because I will need to log in as an administrator because I have my home computer set up where I have an account. I can install software. That, by the way, is a good safety measure. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Okay, we will not double click to start the installation just yet. I'm going to go to Ubuntu. Go to download. Okay, and if it gives you a choice, make sure you don't go in and get lost in some of the new stuff. You want the LTS or the long-term support system. That is a general principle, by the way, that when you download software to develop and you want the long time support, or you want the latest stable version, or there's some words to that effect, you don't want to be on the bleeding edge, because if you do, you will suffer with all the things that they're working out. You don't have time to do that. You've got software to develop. Okay, I am going to save this, and I am going to uh, pause this video, because this is going to take a while. It says 5 minutes. I don't believe it. I think it's going to be more like about 30. So anyway, we will we will pick up with this soon. And we're back. So we finished downloading. Have the interesting, funky presentation. Back to the PowerPoint. Okay, the ISO is greater than 1 GB, so make sure you fill your coffee up before you start this step. And this has to be completely done to do step 4. Step 4 is when you install Ubuntu, and you have to download it before you install it. Now, I got a couple of notes down here. This thing about long-term support version, that's an idea that you have in all development, all software projects. You have the one that they're working on now that's bleeding edge, that's got all the fancy things, but they're not all completely tested. Then you have the one that's the latest stable version, or the one they actually support. By the way, try to avoid using software that has no support plan, because then you become the support plan. Okay, this notion about you can complete one step and go on to the next one before you do another one, that's called critical path, and that's something that you need to understand when you do something. When you do a multi-step task, which is common in IT, because that's how you save your time. Okay, the next step is to install VirtualBox. And I'll have to pause again, because I will actually, well, let's just see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to task switch out of this, and I'm running as an administrator because I am a limited privilege account. That way, a little bit more secure against cyber attacks. And it's thinking. And this is what we call a next finish install. You basically just keep on hitting next when it tells you stuff, until it says install. I don't know that. Okay, I just accept everything the way it is. Next, yes, install. When it says please wait, this may take several minutes. They're exactly correct. It's not really bad, but it's still enough to where you don't need to sit there and watch it. So we're going to pause this again. We're going to pick up with it while it's done.